Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tuesday night. We are playing as we do some Shadowrun missions. Tonight, we're picking up where we left off 2 weeks ago when the group had entered into the aquology, as it is called, through a submarine. And they were kind of exploring that first level, and it was somewhat spooky. And things started happening, and there was weird oddities. And then they got around and figured out that there was something in one of the back rooms. Before before it could maybe destroy them somehow, they thought maybe they should kill it with fire. But then there was a sort of a what happened that triggered it at the end? The sort of a cry out that made them not end up actually, throwing death into the room. So we do pick up with them outside the room, wondering what it is that they have stumbled across. And can I just say, roll 20 won't be like that. Okay, cool. So, yes, there's a cry out from inside the room.
It's Yan who was ready to shoot at the room. Just puts his gun down and goes like, "What the fuck was that?"
I have no clue. But whatever it is, maybe we should hide from it.
Oh, that sounded like kid.
I said what I said.
It's gonna move. It's gonna move forward and point his flashlight in the room, try to see what screamed like that.
You want me to check since I have a little bit more eyesight?
Oh, please.
Join me. We can both have a look.
Okay.
As you look under and peer into
in there. I didn't go in the room. I know your tricks.
and peer into the room, you see, there's the couch. It looks like a nest in there. There's some other stuff going on. And then you notice just a little flicker of movement kind of behind the couch. And you realize that it was a pair of eyes kind of looking, and then it ducked down as you came in.
Hey, if you don't mean us any harm, we don't mean any harm either.
Yeah, what he said. He says, "Is he like Oh, okay, I found you guys. Sorry, I was trying to find you guys on this map.
It's all dark here looking around. It's like that Atari game Haunted House way back in the day. Yeah. Anyway, so you hear a tentative voice. Go away.
Who are you and what are you doing here? By yourself? And he looks back and around.
No, you go you go away. My house.
Where are your parents?
What parents?
Oh,
Oh,
No, you. You
yeah.
Maybe you
Uh,
can help us. We're looking for something. And since this is your house, maybe you can help us find it and then we can leave.
save the day because this kid was about to get a mouth an earful.
make a
That
make an etiquette check there for Gertrude.
I might actually be able to do.
Can we help Gertrude? And he goes, why? What? Yeah. It's like we're just here to pick something up. We'll leave you alone, and then we'll go.
So what is your social limit for Etienne?
Check that. Where's that on that sheet?
It should be under your stats, yeah?
Oh, you're right. Social limit is 4.
All right. And Gertrude's social limit is also
Also
4.
4.
Okay, so there will be no assist. I was just going to go with the lower of the social limits because this is a situation where more people talking is
Not helping.
not as helpful.
Okay.
All right. What find?
Do we have a description of what the data core looks like? It was a data core, right?
What it
Yeah.
was? Etienne is gonna. I think he carries with him a small photo projector, so he's gonna make it up an image of the data core.
As you do that, she pops up from kind of the other side of the couch and her eyes are wide.
White.
What's that?
This is what we're looking for.
What that? What that? What that? What that?
It's a grid projector. Makes image. See?
She looks around desperately in the room and suddenly dashes out from behind the couch, rummages through a pile of blankets and clothing and other detritus. And you get a good look at her now. Let us get a good look at her. All right. And so she's dressed oddly. It looks like she's just kind of wearing whatever she could find. Her eyes are kind of yellow through and through. She's got a very bluish sort of tint to her. She's got her hair done up and just various accoutrements kind of strapped onto her and placed onto her haphazardly. And she turns around and holds up what looks like a comlink. And she looks over at Etienne.
You. Oh, hey there, cat. Do you want me to look at your comlink? I can fix it.
You take that mine. You take that mine.
Yeah.
You take and that mine.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna need the comlink to put image in that.
Just give it to us so we can just go.
All right. I'll enter the grid projector
She
and
hands you.
take the
She
comlink.
hands you a very old. And actually, it's on. It appears to be a working comlink. It just doesn't, down here. It would never reach anywhere. And she takes the trid and she just turns around and ducks back again behind the couch. Comes out. She's got another comlink, it appears, and she's trying to hook them up. Unfortunately,
Do you need help to connect them together? Says Etienne as he's taking the blanket off his drone because she covered it.
she's looking at the trid projector and is confused, and then she's takes the cable from the comlink that she has, and she finds a groove, and she's just trying to slide in the groove, and she's just, how do you plug this in?
Oh, yeah, these don't come with a connector, but I can.
She holds them both up. Make work. Make work. Make work.
Yeah. I put the first comlink away in my bag, and I pick both of these things up. I look at the other, and I shrug. I'm like, that's probably gonna help us in the long run. At least the spirits are gonna stop attacking us. So give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Have a look around, and I'll try to rig them up together. Probably have some knickknacks in my bag or pockets that would make for a universal connector.
She watches intently what you're doing. Just apparently absolutely enthralled.
He's gonna take the time to show her what he's doing. See, I can put that there and do this, and with a little bit of soldering, you should be able to plug that in.
And she's like, sono yo ni. And then she takes it and yeah, musen wireless.
Yeah, those things don't work very well down here, though. It's too deep.
To water.
Yeah.
Water.
Too much water above us.
She turns on the trick projector and sees the data core device. I know.
Yeah.
Not here. Not here. Not here.
Other place.
Like over there?
Matsu.
I don't.
And then she edges around the group, heading out of the room. Matsu.
I think that means wait.
Wait. You wait.
Yeah.
And then she scurries away into the darkness.
Matsu? Wait,
Don't you like these samurai stuff? You don't speak their language?
I mean, I
That
just
sounds like it.
I can repeat what they say. I just don't know what it means.
We can get you a skill soft for that. You can learn it.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, all right. But
Yeah, skill
sure,
stuff is going to be fun.
are we sure she's coming back? How
Well,
long did we wait?
I mean,
the other option, I guess, is that she opens the door and just floods us with this lake.
I mean, do you guys know how to? You guys know how to swim?
I sink
pretty
real good.
well.
I'm an elf.
We're not that far
I think
from-
we deal with nature well, right? In general.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Can I take some kind of test to know just how badly or how well elves sink/float?
I mean, do you have swim skill?
Who, me?
Mhm.
See, do I have swimming as a skill? No. Yes, I do. I have 1 in swimming.
With your physical stats, should be enough to bring you back to the submarine that's in the moon pool back there.
Yeah, I feel like that's you know, as long as you.
Better than every single one of us.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
so the problem with swimming, the thing that makes swimming hard is the part where like you're not in the air, and so you can't breathe, right? Like if we didn't have to worry about breathing, everyone could swim. You could move around in the water and fluff about. So, that said, you would still prefer if you would still prefer it if, you know, you didn't get flooded in.
So while she's out of this room, what else? What else is in here?
Mostly just, you know, like her stuff. There's check something out here. Yeah, mostly just things. There's a few electronic bits and pieces. Make a perception test. Okay. Yeah, there's a few bits and bobs. There's paraphernalia. There's like flyers from old events. There's like a trophy for some sort of martial arts sport. There's a broken coffee machine. Just yeah, various knickknacks and doodads and the like.
Is there a date on any of the flyers that can be read?
Yes. Most of the flyers are older. There are a couple, however, that appear to be more recent. Post opening of the containment zone, actually.
Well, that's interesting since they said that they just recently learned about this place or its location. That she's got stuff that appears to be more recent. Now, could just be, you know, trash that sank to the bottom of the floor that she picked up.
Right. Indeed, it's
So
a little bit
is
of a
there any
mystery.
like? You said there's a broken coffee machine. Is there like a broken snack machine next to that coffee machine?
No.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
Satchel's
like when
gonna
I
be
say
looking for
coffee
snacks.
machine, I mean it was just like a coffee maker, just a.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if it was like one of those old school, like pull a little tab and like hot cocoa came out the bottom.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It's not one of those.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Satchel's just gonna be pawing around, looking to see if he can find some kind of snack or anything useful
um,
while we're waiting on this youngin to maybe or maybe not come back with our data core.
well, you didn't quite notice it right away, just because the whole place smells of fish. But looking around, you do find some relatively dried fish, kind of tucked away in a bag, something that is being used as a bag at any rate. So,
So Satchel is going to grab the bag, kind of give it a little sniff, and then
Etienne is going to
give it
slap his hand and go like, "Dude, first of all, I guess that's her food. So, like, leave her food alone. Second of all, I don't want you doubling over and puking and crapping yourself while we're underwater."
Oh, I mean, we're underwater. I mean, like it's easy to clean, right?
No.
Just
No.
get into the not, I guess, wet lock. Is that what it's called? A water lock, and then just. I wasn't here for how we actually got into the ecology, so I'm assuming there's some kind of locking mechanism to keep the water out of the place.
We
We
never
took a tiny submarine.
Okay.
submarine just got up in the what we call a moon pool, where it
Okay.
can come up and get out of there.
Gotcha.
It was the one that you and I rescued from the bottom of the lake before.
I'm tracking. I understand. Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, have you ever seen anyone that looked like that? Their eyes were yellow and their skin is kind of bluish.
I have metahuman biology.
Well, if she doesn't have fur like you,
I have metahuman biology.
metahuman biology, you can roll that. It's unless you get a pretty high amount, you're probably not going to get an answer for that. That's more like knowing about where the heart and lung,
Ah,
and how life works. So yeah, it's probably got a circulatory system and a nervous system and the like.
how about transhumanist philosophy? Would that be better?
You can go and make a roll on transhumanist philosophy. Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps it is some sort of meta-human who has adapted to live in an ecology below the surface of the water. And what's next?
A mermaid?
I mean, just transhumanist philosophy. What comes after that? It's
like
next thing you know, they'll be coming out of the ocean and taking over the.
I've heard about a guy who was turned into some sort of frog person after a magical incident, but so maybe it's something like that.
I mean, there's no sunlight down here, so it could be just a lack of vitamin D that's causing discoloration of skin and eye discoloration. Too much charcoal in the water filtration system.
So Sexual's gonna nod, like grab his chin and nod like he understands anything that's being said right now. But he totally does not. It's like,
I
yeah,
don't think it's anything magical. I just feel like my instincts are telling me that it's not a magical thing, but I guess I could try to read her aura when she comes back.
Yeah, that's the thing you could do. Speaking of coming back, after several moments, probably about 5 to 10 minutes, she reappears, trailing water behind her. Maybe Urashima has. Urashima has.
Hiroshima is someone? That's their name?
Name. Urashima.
Okay, they're on the other section of the ecology. The one that's protected by there's someone like you that's living down here that has been for a long time.
Is this a friend of yours?
Satchel has a remaining piece of fish and like hands it out to her.
Are you bribing this child with her own fish?
I'm returning her own fish to her. But yes, I am definitely bribing this child with her own fish.
Come look. And she beckons you over to this room here. Let's see.
Which room?
You can. She just ran out of the room, so you'll have to turn your tokens to face in the direction she's going, so you can see where she's going.
Okay.
So she heads in this room. She says, これは壊れてます. No work.
Yeah. Do you want it to work? Right, that might take a minute. I mean, looking up a comlink to a Trid projector is one thing. This is a little bit more work.
This work, then Urashima.
So I think she was saying you make this work and then Urashima.
It's exactly what she said. That's
You are really getting the hang of this translation stuff.
I'm telling you, I'll get it down pat in no time. You said there's skill sauce for this, right?
Yeah, but we're a little bit too far to download it right now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can try. Anyone else speak any other language? We've been kind of working it with English, but parlez-vous français? You speak French? No? Okay. I mean, it's worth a try. No, I don't. I don't have other language, Danny. I know you. I saw my sheet switch from active skill to language. Nope.
Yeah. I don't think anybody speaks Japanese, huh?
No, I got
Nope.
Caribbean. So I'm yeah. No, I was gonna be like, we're both island nations, I guess. Not, not, not.
You're gonna have to work on that one, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
no.
So yeah, she's looking at you expectantly, perhaps wondering.
All right, let me look that over. He's gonna start trying to assess the power generator. I think I've had already made a check about that thing for knowledge. I mean, so he knows what it is and how it somewhat works.
Yeah, so it's all part of this oxygenation / water filtration system. Creates and also creates power for the facility. So if you could get it up and running, it would potentially power the facility.
All right. Well, I can give it a shot. All right, Bruno. And he gestures to his little drone to bring the tools, and he's gonna get to work.
Okay. Make a appropriate knowledge check for the machine real quick.
Electrical engineering, industrial manufacturer, machine parts, plumbing, practical mechanics, sports.
Go practical mechanics for now.
Oh crap! Let me re-roll that. I edged it, and I have wound modifier from our crazy thing from last.
Wait. What's your normal roll on this?
Practical mechanics is rating of 2 plus logic, which is.
So you should have.
6.
So you should have rolled 6 dice. Okay, so you.
7.
So that's 2 hits. All right. I just take the first dice that you would have rolled and call that the roll.
Yeah, fair.
So 2 hits. So basically it's it creates power using salt and fresh water and some like electrolysis stuff. So in order for it to work, and probably why it ended up breaking is because it stopped getting you need to feed it salt, basically, the machine. So even if you got it up and running, before you could really turn it on, you'd need to get some salt in there and as like almost like a fuel.
There cafeteria around here? We need salt.
Or a bucket, since there's.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is freshwater lake. Sorry.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're in a lake, so we need salt.
Cafeteria.
To eat.
Place where food is. We need. And he's going to show her like the formula of salt on his comic.
Like a picture of it?
Either picture of it or just like the letters and stuff. And I don't remember what formula of salt is.
NaCl.
Yeah.
Sodium chloride.
I only know that because of all the memes that say, salt is poison because vaccines are poison. Anyway, she thinks for a moment.
They want to make sense.
I mean, was that fish salted so it could be good?
I wouldn't know. You slapped it out of my hands so rudely.
Eat. You eat? She looks at Gertrude.
Yes,
Oh, she eats.
You eat?
I do. Do you eat?
Yeah. Yes. You eat now? Fish?
Does your fish make you thirsty when you eat it?
Thirsty?
You want to drink water after eating it?
Sounds just like.
I drink water and eat.
Can we have some of your fish? Will you share?
She goes to her fish stash, which is empty. And she goes, and then she looks at the fish that Satchel gave her, and she kind of goes, and she's just like, she peeks in to see that Etienne is working on the device, and then she says, I get. And then she again, this time slipping through a crack under where the elevator, right there, the elevator shaft is. She wiggles through a little crack there that, and then you hear her splash into water below. Off to get you some fish.
And yeah, unless we find like good quantity of salt, not gonna be enough.
How much salt do we need?
So, depending on how much power you need, make a intuition check, Etienne. And let me think. Add your hardware. Make a hardware and intuition. You still got that edge up. One.
Oh, fuck.
So one hit. You can't imagine she needs this thing powering the entire facility. Right? But she does have her own, albeit small, collection of electronic devices. Which means she's probably interested in just making sure that she can recharge those or keep them working. So you don't necessarily need to keep it going. If you could teach her how to like load it, turn it on long enough, and then cut it off, a pound of salt would do.
Yeah. About a pound.
About a pound of salt.
Could I use a chemistry roll to see if what we might be able to use that's either in here or nearby to be able to produce this amount of salt?
You can make. Do you have it as a skill or as a knowledge?
As an active skill.
Okay. Yeah, you could figure out some way if you could find the right ingredients to actually create, probably not potable salt, but sodium chloride-esque stuff. Perhaps if there's cleaning supplies, perhaps
Satchel,
Mhm.
would you go check the bathrooms for any kind of cleaning supplies?
Cleaning supplies. Got it.
Mhm.
All right. Know where the bathroom is.
It's the end of the hall, right there. There's one of each side.
Okay. So Satchel's, makes his way down to the bathroom and starts,
Go ahead and push your token in the direction of travel. You are in charge of your tokens.
If we really can't figure anything out, we could maybe send a spirit to just like crush through a like corner store and bring back a bag of salt.
Could you imagine that? Some giant spirit just robs
Comes back with an
just
entire
robs
bag.
the stuffer shack and just takes all the potato chips.
Oh, okay. I'll see what the bathroom is. I'm going out.
All right. Looking in the bathroom for cleaning supplies, you look under the sink and you do find some old bottles of this, that, and any other. The labels have long since worn away on the names, so it's hard to say what they are, but there's a collection.
Satchel's just going to arm sweep any and all available chemicals and just bring them with him.
Okay.
He's going to arm sweep those, and he's going to mosey his way back to Gertrude. Where did she go?
I think she went through that little door there, and then
Hey, Gertrude, where are you?
I haven't moved.
My token plate begs to differ. Right. Oh, there you are. And then he just kind of like places all the chemicals down here at your feet. These are very worn out, so I can't tell what they are, but hope this helps.
Well, we'll give it a try. Thank you.
Is there another bathroom?
I mean, they said there was one on either side. Just now.
So I'm going to try to look at the other one, but I have no idea where the other one.
It's a relatively square space or rectangular shaped space with not a lot of real nooks and crannies to speak of. I mean, there's a bunch of rooms. So if you're just going to go seeking through all the rooms,
yes,
you find here is not a bathroom, but rather
a kitchen. Oh, look, there's a kitchen over here, guys.
Is there salt in the kitchen?
I am raiding the spice rack as we speak.
So make a perception test. Meanwhile, Gertrude, make a chemistry test. This is just a logic and chemistry, yeah. So
Perception.
Gertrude, you with what you have here, you could potentially make salt. There's household cleaners that have chlorine, and there's some baking soda, which is got sodium in it. However, you'd first have to kind of separate a lot of chlorine out from the cleaner, and that would be a process, potentially releasing poisonous chlorine gas into the air.
Which we don't have a lot of.
Or you can probably use the container of Morton's salt, the blue cylinder that Satchel has found with the little girl, the umbrella, and the yellow raincoat.
I mean, that would definitely be easier.
Yeah, I think I found some salt. I
Bring it
definitely
over.
found some salt. Yeah, and Satchel makes his way back to the group, triumphant, skipping with the salt in his hand.
You know you shouldn't spill that, right?
And with that, he cradles it to his chest and is now very anxious about spilling the salt.
I shall not spill the salt. Okay. All right. So you have given the salt over. A few moments later, the girl comes back and she unceremoniously dumps several wriggling fish onto the floor. Fish.
Thank you. Those are good fish.
Satchel puts his hand up to like high five her, like, well done. And he like smiles expectantly. He just kind of like, yeah, we'll work on that. Good job. Thanks for the fish.
Come over here. What is your name?
Oh, me, Otoko.
Nice to meet you, Otoko. It's
Etsen.
That'll do. I got the salt. This. Come. I show you how it works on the machine.
Right, so she comes in, and you take some time to show her how it works. What you're going to do, however, is make a quick industrial mechanics or hardware. Industrial mechanics will be a lower threshold roll to have actually fixed it.
Let's go with industrial mechanics.
Her name is Otoko.
Otoko.
I'm gonna keep my edge. So let's hope 2 is enough to fix it.
Okay. So with that, you show her how to work everything. You show her the sort pullers in, and you put it all in, and then you stand up and triumphantly pull the handle to get it started, and it crank, and then it just stops. It does not start.
Give me a few minutes, and he's gonna try again. If it's something that's possible.
It is possible, however, the threshold goes up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start by rolling, and then if I need it, I'm gonna post edge. I'm gonna post edge.
Okay.
So 4 hits.
You figure out there was a connection that you actually missed. You reconnect that, and then you stand up and once again triumphantly pull the handle to start it, and it does indeed start up. Water starts kind of going through a tube into the salt reservoir, and then that kind of pulls out, and then there's science happening. I don't know how it works. It's a thing, right? So science starts happening, and it starts generating electricity. She dashes out of the room and comes back with an armful of various doodads and toys and stuff, and begins plugging a few of them in. And then as soon as like they get a little bit of power and the little like indicators light up that say that they have power and they can be used, she just jumps up and, you know, thank you.
My pleasure. Now, the thing.
Urushima, Urashima, yes. And then she looks at the salt and she just kind of looks at it for a minute. It looks like she's kind of studying it, making sure she knows what exactly that is. And then she hops out and beckons you to the elevator.
All right.
I think she wants us to follow her in the water, so we.
Yeah, and she slips through the doors, and you hear her splash down at the water below.
So yeah, Satchel brings out his glow stick or his light stick or flashlight, whatever you guys call them in this game, and yeah, he just hops on down in there.
All right. Well, I imagine you're going to pull apart the doors because she can slip through, but it's a little small for you.
Yeah. Rip open those doors as best I can. And would you like me to roll?
Yeah, if you're going to roll, go ahead and make a strength plus body roll.
Strength plus 5.
Okay. Yeah, you easily pull the thing to the side. It is not hard to do. So below, so you don't see an elevator. The cabling actually is gone as well. If you look up, you can see a broken piece of cable. And then there's water, just maybe 4 feet down in the elevator shaft, and it's dark.
So Satchel has the flashlight and he just points it down and then he just kind of like pencils his way in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's dark water. What do you have any equipment other than just your I can breathe from my internal air tank?
No, I just have I can breathe from my internal air tank and a flashlight.
Okay. All right. Is anyone else jumping in after?
It sounds like maybe if we follow with the sub.
Yeah, that's
Is it like
kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't want to get my fur wet. I just got it done.
It looks very
nice.
nice.
Look down there.
Thank you. It cost me like a whole $1.
Oh. Wow. You gotta look down there with a flashlight and try and see, is it going out like just in the general water around us, or it seems to be going.
Well, so from outside, you recall that there was a shaft that was broken that leads this. So normally you figure this is how they would get, back when it was functional, how they would get from this part to that part.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think we can follow from the outside, but I don't know exactly where she's going. So we might lose them since we're not going to be in the two with them.
Just hold your breath.
That's not the issue. I'm just not a very good swimmer. My armor is hair tank. And I think we got like diving gear for everybody. It's just that we're not as at ease in the water as she is and you are.
Oh, okay. Well then, Satchel's gonna like try to like wave her down like with the flashlight, but like, hey, wait, hold up, don't leave yet. Is she still like swimming and moseying, or is she just kind of like waiting?
You attract a hideous beast. No, she's you don't actually even see her, but you do note that as far as the light goes in the water, that it seems like you just need to get down into the swim down about 20-30 feet, and that's where the end of it is. Not to say what's then on the other side of that, but
It's not that far.
Okay, well then, Satchel kind of like reaches and it's kind of like it's about 20-30 feet down. I don't know about the other side, but yeah.
Me too.
Let's take the sub to underneath the tube. I'm more concerned that if we swim over there and there's a problem, then we have to swim back up here to get to the sub to leave.
That's smart.
Yeah.
All right. We'll meet you halfway, and then we'll join you in the tube. It's broken in the middle, so I guess we can get in that way from the sub.
I mean, yeah, that works for me.
If the sub has a way of getting out, if the sub has a way of getting out while it's submerged, I'm not sure about that. I'm not a nautical.
Oh yeah, let's not open the hatch. We've already
or pull the drain plug.
Or pull the drain plug.
I mean, but if it's a big enough drain plug, you probably could actually jump into the water from it and maybe just like plug it back in real fast.
Let him troll you.
Etienne is going to use his micro transceiver to call what was his name again? The sub driver. Goober. Hey Goober, this is Etienne. Goober, do you receive?
Hey, how's everything going? I'm just watching some of my flicks here on the trade, waiting for you guys to be done. Y'all found anything
it's going
interesting?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good.
We did. We were thinking about maybe moving towards the next section.
All right.
We were wondering, is there any way to exit your sub while it's submerged without flooding it? Is there like a part where it's
a good thing you added that last little qualifier there, because no. It's not that sort of sub. It's just for quick explorations and the like. But
oh, okay.
I mean, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
We're trying to get through that broken tube that we saw. Satchel is going to get in there, and we were wondering if we could like follow from the outside and then reconnect to him while we're underwater. But I don't think that's going to be possible. We kind of wanted you nearby, so if something happens, we wouldn't have to go all the way back here, but just straight to you while we're underwater. But that doesn't seem like it's something that's.
Well, I mean, if you really need to, you could just hold on to the outside of the sub in your gear, and then I could pilot it close to where you need to be, and then just kind of stay there.
Yeah, that's an idea. And he looks at the other, and you can he has this little on his jacket, so you can hear all of that. Everyone.
Oh, okay.
So what do you guys think? That could be an option.
Down for whatever.
That would eliminate the.
Well, you can put your dry suit on, and that should.
I just left
do the
my
thing.
swim cap at the house. I didn't know.
Well, I don't know what to say about that.
It's okay. I
But
mean,
maybe there's one that comes with the suit. I
I
don't.
mean, you know, I don't want to die, so if I have to get it wet, I'll get it wet. That's fine. But if we can avoid it, that's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, Satchel, can we meet you with our new friend at the breach, and then we can get in with you, and the sub is going to bring us there?
Sure. All right. Meet you down there, I guess. Bye.
Let's try that.
All right. So as you head to the sub,
Bye.
Satchel is going to make his way into the elevator shaft and down below. The lift itself, obviously largely destroyed years ago in whatever explosion or whatever happened that blew out the neck of the shaft. As you make your way down, you realize that a lot of the part seems to have been actually been broken open somehow, like something like not just like the explosion, but it looks like the work of industrious, hands, like trying to create an opening so that it's clear to pass through. So you need to make a diving plus agility test. If you do not have diving, then it is agility -1.
Okay, so agility -1 it is.
Yeah, you got lied to because diving is not the same as swimming.
Okay. What input value for none?
If you clicked on, what'd you click on?
Agility.
Okay,
Gotcha.
yeah. So what you can do is in your skills, there's a default skill, and you change that to agility, and then you change the next thing to physical. However, that's just going to roll this roll that you rolled -1, so you're good. You swim down and then find a point where it looks like the elevator section ended, but there's now a tunnel forward, and this is about where if the others were going to come into the shaft from in the water, this is where they'd enter. There's this sort of hole there. It is not the biggest hole. You could get through it.
Okay.
Oh, Gertrude might have an issue.
So I let it be known that
Do you
I'm
though?
just kind of like, hey, you got like a torch that works underwater? They have those, right?
I mean, do you though?
I think I think Satchel is trying to talk to us. I can just hear a bunch of bubbles over comms. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh shit, yeah. Can I see text messages?
You can.
No, I'm gonna send a text message and be like, hey, does anybody have any torches or anything that could widen up this hole? Just so Gertrude can get in here. So Gertrude can get in here.
Does that make it through to us, Danny?
Yeah, I mean it's only like 20 meters. And since it's text and not voice, it eventually,
It takes a long time too.
Right.
All right. Do I have that sort of thing? I don't think so.
What are you looking for?
Some reason. Torch that could be able to cut a hole in there underwater.
Nice.
I think you have that. Yeah, something like that.
I mean, we'd have to go back and surface again in the moon pool, and then I could give it to you. But
I mean, we're not that far from the pool, so
right, I did, just it's Roger, and he starts to turn the sub around. It's not the fastest, most maneuverable vehicle, as you're holding on to the outside and it's spinning around. Are you going to wait for them there, Satchel? Are you going forward, or?
I'm going to leave a. Do I have any flares?
Underwater elevator shaft rave?
Yeah, so I was just going to leave a flare so they know where they could possibly come in. So, because I don't want to just literally sit here and hold my breath for an hour and drown at the shaft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have a light stick. You have 2 of them.
Yeah, so I'll leave one light stick. I'll kind of like tie it nearby to a like a little anything
Or just
that's like
wedge it into between like 2 shards of metal that have like come out, and just
Yeah.
call it a day.
Yep, and then make my way down the shaft, trying to find some air.
Okie doke. That is what you are doing. You now only have a light stick. Okay. All right, and you make your way forward, and as you get to this end of the tunnel, it actually rises up. There's a ladder. Not that you need it, because you can swim up. But obviously, when this wasn't flooded, they would use the ladder to come up. And the semi-polluted water, of course, jagged metal from the torn-up shaft. There's encrusted barnacles along the walls. Yeah, if you were not pretty confident about your oxygen supply, or panicky or anything, you would probably, hurt yourself. A little bit of barnacle rash, road rash, but underwater flavor. But finally, you break free of the water, and you climb out. The floor near this hatch is covered in mildew and algae, but it's pretty solid. Once you start breathing again, go ahead and make a composure roll, because that smell from before, like, that was pretty bad. You got used to it, but then you started breathing your air, and so you got unused to it, and whatever this is, it makes that smell like.
Okay, so what do I need for a composure roll?
It is composure, which is in your attributes block.
Oh, okay. See. Is there any modifiers?
No.
Ooh.
You take a few steps forward. I mean, that's it's not that. You take a few steps forward, and you just and lose whatever food you had. What direction do you lose that?
I lose it facing forward.
Okay, so just on the ground in front of you.
Yes. Just blah.
Okay, so you bend over, and you are
yakety yakking.
Yakking it out. And when you
so I sent them a message. I forget them puking. I'm just kind of like,
well, as you stand up from puking, you notice that there are several people standing there just kind of watching you.
I quickly wipe my mouth and pretend like nothing happened. Like I am just A-okay. And hello, how you guys doing?
One of them, a very large individual, turns and looks over at you. See Otoko is with them. He speaks in a he speaks quickly and angrily at her in that language that you don't speak. She speaks back a little bit obstinate. He's kind of the precocious air of someone who feels like she might be smarter than him. And they kind of argue back and forth for a little bit. And then finally Otoku looks over and says, where are others? Friends.
He like puts his hands up and he's trying to remember which Matsu. They're Matsu on the way. They're on the way. He's trying to say like pantomiming, like
right. She turns back to him and starts talking, and you're reminded of all of your favorite anime trids that you watched before. It's as if you're in a real one, unfolding before your very eyes.
Alrighty.
Meanwhile, the submarine has turned back after giving a welding torch, underwater welding torch, mind you, to Etienne, so that you can do some underwater welding.
Hell yeah.
This is going to
Etienne's getting
be
it in.
this is going to be a thing. So, all right, Etienne. As you approach this shaft, you see that there is a light stick shoved into a portion. You figure that must be where
Not
Satchel
sure
says you want to come in.
Right.
And you've got this welding torch.
It's going to take just a minute to assess the situation and the building itself to make sure he's not going to like cut something that's going to make the entire thing collapse.
You don't get the sense that anything will fall, like just from looking at it. That said, because there's not a lot, like the shaft itself is not supporting a lot of weight of any of the buildings, right? It just is supporting its own weight. But go ahead and make a. This is gonna be a knowledge of. Make an intuition check.
Just flat intuition?
Just flat intuition. I'm not giving you a -1 because you have plenty of skills that kind of relate, so I'm just going to call it an even intuition.
Yeah, let me use an edge for that. I don't like it. Big old 2.
Okay. Yeah, you're fairly certain it's, as long as you don't, just cut around the whole thing, it'll probably hold. Okay. You're just trying to get the extra like scraps out around the sides.
Smooth it out as well as making it bigger so everybody can fit in.
Go ahead and make a industrial mechanics check. Meanwhile, Satchel, the biggest one, finally like just steps up to you, and he's looking down at you. And I mean looking down at you. Like he's a good 1.5 feet taller than you. Everyone else is kind of normal size, but but he's tall, maybe almost as tall as Gertrude.
Ooh. Like, how big are the fish down here?
And there's no other way to describe this than just mean mugging, like he has decided he does not like you.
Oh,
and
doesn't like me? Okay.
and he's just looking down at you, just kind of this little snarl on his face.
So he kind of like, Satchel kind of like looks past him towards like Otoko, and is like is there something going on here? Okay. So Satchel's going to, like, assume that he's upset that I just puked in his living room, I guess. So he's going to try to, like, sweep it into the water or something. It's like, see if that helps his case any.
So you just jump back in the water.
I know. He's trying to, like, sweep his mess that he just made into the water, so it's not just like chilling in front of him.
He just, as you step kind of away and he steps back, he just watches you. The expression on his face doesn't change in a way that's eerie, actually. Like almost just this weird dead stare. Finally he just sees like, and then he turns and stalks away. A few of the other people are there. They're all speaking excitedly to each other. Every once in a while, one asks Otoko a question. She responds back. And then another person comes up and starts and speaks sharply to Otoko. She's a little more deferential to this one, but still a little bit defiant. And then he tells her something, and then she walks off with him, leaving you by yourself with about 5 of these other people. None of them look particularly Japanese,
but they're all speaking Japanese.
But they're all pretty fluent. Or else they're not speaking Japanese and they're speaking something that just sounds like Japanese, and they're, and it's just a big joke, but you're not sure.
So Satchel is letting the team know that there's some kind of infighting going down in here, and it's most likely because Otoko's bringing intruders in here. So not intruders, but outsiders rather in here. So mind your P's and Q's.
Speaking of P's and Q's, we're going to start by taking a quick break, 10 minutes. It's about that time. And when we get back, we will have, we'll see what happens when the whole crew gets there and what these people decide to do with them. So we'll be back. And we're back. Wow. So just before the break, Etienne was trying to widen the opening into the shaft. And Satchel was involved in a little bit of upchuck diplomacy and not doing so good there, but it works out. As you easily cut through and widen the hole, it becomes time to actually make your way in and try to get down to the other side. So who's going first?
Sienna's gonna go first.
All right, make in this case, swimming plus strength.
Wow. Wow. 3 hits on 3 die.
All right. So you swim through easily enough. Are you wearing the dry suit, the full on dry suit?
I'm wearing my armor, which has a seal and an air tank in it.
Oh, okay. Yep. So you don't even really need to swim so much. You just kind of like paddle your hands and kind of push with your feet off the floor, and it works for you. All right. Who's going in next? Is it going to be Nico or Gertrude?
I guess I'll go.
All right. So Nico's going to go through. Give me that swimming. If you don't have swimming, then it's going to be a strength default.
I know I have running.
You have no, you don't have swimming.
So what am I doing?
So at the top of the skills, it says default a skill.
Mhm.
Change the attribute to strength and the limit to physical. There you go. And then just roll that. Okay. You kind of push your way in and you kind of trying to paddle forward, but the just the sort of general currents of the lake as they're pushing through, you feel like you're swimming, but as you look, you're still like in the same spot that you were as you kind of continue on. You see Etienne ahead, just kind of powering through. What sort of what are you wearing in terms of like? Are you just wearing a dry suit or a?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know what I have on. I assume because we never did like a sketch for Nico, so I feel like Nico's a light wearer. He doesn't wear a lot of things.
Okay. So Nico is
I know
just
he has like a belt because he has his like knife. I think he's got a gun too. So.
okay. So you're just dressed in like swim trunks, belt,
Sure. Let's go with that.
mask and snorkel and scuba gear. Okay, got it. Yeah, so you definitely don't want to kind of run along the floor the same way that Etienne is, because you're pretty sure the barnacles there will just shred your fins and your feet. So go ahead and make that check again.
Okay.
Hey, there's not a whole lot. Oh, I see what's happening. Roll 1d6.
One.
Just a 1d6. Okay, and then roll it again. Okay.
Why doesn't it want me to swim?
Oh, it more than doesn't want you to swim.
I'm gonna do default skill again.
No. So default to skill is rolling 0 dice.
Why?
That's because your strength is 1, and when you default, you're -1 on rolling a die. So that means that
I upped my strength though when we did.
Oh, you did. That's okay. So that's fine. So that's why I had you roll 1 on the d6s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still what's going down is still what's going down, because that 0 that's yellow means that you had a 1 in that roll, and if you're only rolling 1 die, that means that more than half of your dice were 1s. But we'll remember that your strength is 2. So as you're trying to swim forward and through, the current actually pushes you backwards and gouges you alongside one of the big metal pieces that's sort of hanging out. Gertrude, go ahead and give me a reaction plus swimming. Reaction plus swimming, or reaction plus diving, or reaction default.
What is the limit for the default, since I have no water abilities?
Physical. Still physical.
Okay.
Okay. As a sudden like kind of push of current shoves you back into this thing, I need you to go ahead and roll 3 dice, Nico. So you can just do a roll of 3, or just a body by itself, a body and then nothing else.
What was that for?
That's for Nico, for Duryea. Did you catch that, Duryea? Body by itself?
You want me to roll that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Etienne. I'm sorry.
No.
You want me to roll body by itself? Okay, great. So body.
Body and then blank.
Yay.
All right. So it scratches you for 2 physical, but not 3 physical. Scratches you for 2 physical, and you're bleeding now, but Gertrude manages, holding kind of on one side, she manages to grab you before the current kind of takes you further away. It occurs to you, however, Nico, that perhaps if you could engage the services, you're inside of the bubble at this point. You could probably engage the services of a very minor water spirit to just kind of help guide you through.
Oh, I always know. I hate how this goes. I already know how it's gonna go.
It just a minor one. So
Well,
just
first,
like
I want to heal myself. The little scratch that I just got.
you can give that a go.
I just want to do that for, I guess, a 4/6. That's the minimum, right?
4/6, yeah. Never do less than a 4/6. All right. So you just kind of touch it. You close that wound up. You're drained. Good on the drain. And then you're going
Summon 4/6 spirit of water. Oops, I did that wrong. Oh,
no, you did it right.
I did it wrong, but then I did it right, and I still got the same. So
okay. But it's a 4/6, so I am going to roll 6 dice. Only 2, so you're going to get 4 services on this spirit, and you need to roll your drain stat on the magic and beat a 4.
I already rolled it.
That was for the spell. Now you have to drain for the spirit.
Modifier is +9, right?
No
modifiers.
No modifier. It's just the drain button.
Even because I'm in the water, so that like doesn't. It's a water spirit. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
You're good. See?
Okay, I'm good.
You're good. All right. So basically, you have a spirit, and you're asking it to, hey, please.
Right now, I just want you to make sure, like, hey, young spiritu.
You say mentally because you're underwater.
And I am not a mermaid. Yes. Can you help me with this swimming thing? Because I can't do that.
In your mind, you hear, do doggy paddle.
Yes, do doggy paddle.
All right. And then the current starts pushing you in just the direction you want to go into the thing. And Gertrude, you see suddenly Duryea with form and grace, as if the very waters themselves have encased him and are guiding him through, just zips into the hole and through the thing.
Well, he is a magical gang liaison after all.
Yes.
You're it.
It's now your turn.
All right. So strength if there's not swimming?
Right. Strength default.
Okay.
The thing about trolls is they're really strong. So if they want to go in a direction, they will go in that direction. Yeah. So you just start kind of swimming through. You're able to keep from what are you wearing underwater? Do you have the full dry suit?
I do. Dry suit and fins.
Okay. So to keep the fins from shredding, you don't want to necessarily put your feet on the floor, but the dry suit itself has some protection, and so you're not too worried about like little scrapes against the side or what have you. And you're able to push forward and get to the end, catching up to everybody, where you swim through. As you look up, it's like the water has some sort of like oily sheen to it or whatever, but you know, whatever. You guys swim up and pull up out of the water to find Satchel nervously looking about at several individuals wearing, again, hodgepodge clothing with strange and random accoutrements and pieces of flair.
Yeah. Oh, there you are. Did you guys get in all right?
It took a little bit of work, but I think we managed.
It did take a little bit of work.
Uh, Otoko
She's not
ran.
there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were addressing her, so my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was like, yeah, she went this way with some dude, and then there was some other dude that was just staring me down the whole time. But
Jen
yeah,
looks around and he's like, yeah, there seems to be more people than I thought there would be in a lost underwater facility. Hello? Hi?
As you are saying hello and hi, I need everyone to make a composure test, except for Satchel. Satchel, you're okay. You already did not make it.
He says that as he's opening his helmet, and then
All right. So whatever you had for food earlier today, Gertrude, that is coming up. There's no stopping it.
And it's not graceful either.
Is there any attempt to point it in a certain direction?
We'll look for a bucket or a trash can.
I mean, the best you got is a pool of water behind you. Other than that, it's a slick algae covered floor.
Then it's gonna have to be the water, because I'm not gonna puke on somebody's floor.
Yeah, who does that?
My mom would be really disappointed in me.
They kind of watch, unblinking, as you do so, and then you realize one of them must have left. And I mean, Satchel realized because there's one less of these people there now. And then a few moments later, you see Otoko returns.
there she is. There she is. And Satchel just kind of like waves.
All right. Let me take a moment here to move everybody. Okay. Roll 20. And then all right, great. Good Lord, tokens, come on. All right. Apologies as I navigate the vagaries of Roll20. Where did Gertrude's token go?
I moved mine up to the sub. Sorry.
Up to the sub, yeah. All right. Makes sense. Wait. All right, on this map that I'm about to move us to, you will be at the bottom of the map. Here we go. All right. Uh, okay. That. Same for you. I got to fix your lighting because there is a light down here. And satchel. Everybody got pretty decent vision now at this point.
Yes.
All right, cool. So as you step out, you see that there is most of the ground is actually covered in some sort of soil, a little loose layer of dirt. A large number of plants are growing everywhere, and you can see that there's several of these side rooms, but the doors are all closed. And there are several men and women sort of kind of watching warily from the sides. As Otoko leads you across the module, you eventually see an older gentleman who is leaning on a staff. Where did they go? What? Moment while I find the guy. Oh, this is a little bit embarrassing. Apologies, as I'm looking for. I've accidentally popped him into something. Put him in with Humanus or something. Well. Why is he not in here? All right, well, that's fine. So yeah, you are led up as a group. I'm going to slowly kind of move you up here to the other side of the thing as several of these people are watching you from the sides, left and right. It's pretty big, pretty large space. And you come upon this older gentleman here. As he is apparently speaking to some, not quite that big, but large spirit of Earth. Actually, it's a small spirit of Earth. He's leaning on a staff for support. So he's looks very old. And then as you approach, he waves the spirit back to work and turns to the rest of you, and says with a smile, "Nani ga watashi no ni motarasu no ka?"
Do
Hi.
I know? Nah, you know what? Damn it. I keep forgetting I'm not Kaida right now.
This is true.
Kaida knows Japanese.
Nico does not.
No, Nico grew up in Chicago. He knows AAVE. So I'm gonna ask if does no one here speaks Japanese, right?
No, it looks like something we're going to need to learn. We'll all take a class
Clearly.
together.
So, sir, do you speak any other languages?
Est-ce que vous parlez français?
Especially the one I'm speaking right now. Clearly, because if you don't speak the one I'm speaking right now, you don't even know what I'm saying.
He looks over at Otoko and speaks to her quickly.
Ooh, rude.
And she looks and says, I only English. You do notice that like all the signage in here is Japanese. There's nothing in here that is in English.
That's what
Hey,
do.
spirit, mentally. I'm gonna mentally say this to the spirit. Can you can speak any language, can't you? Spirit?
Not really. No.
No, you can only speak what languages? I'd assume that you could speak
your languages.
Oh, so whoever's talking to you or summons you, you can speak what they can speak.
Wait. Can your spirit talk to the other spirit, and then the other spirit can talk to the guy?
Well, that other spirit's working, so I don't want to.
I mean,
I don't want to interrupt it. I don't want to come into somebody else's house and then make their spirit stop doing whatever, because then things could get hairy.
Spirits have tasks.
Yeah, they have tasks,
used up.
and you never know what you're going to get if you ask them to stop their task. But there's no way that he could
that's fair.
translate for me or like possess me with the spirit of linguistics to where I can understand what he's talking about.
No, that is not a thing that can happen. However,
well, we have a good new friend here that can translate. Easy, but
so when you ask that, and then Otoku says, only she speaks English, then she says, she listens to your questions, and then she pulls out the TRID recorder out of a waterproof bag that she has, and she holds it up and pushes the button, showing that same device. And she starts speaking really quickly to Dr. Udashima. He speaks back, and she turns, why want this?
and looks around to the others, and he's like, "Well, we don't really." And he's gonna use his DNI and go like, "We don't really know. So what do we tell her? Like, we're just here to pick it up and."
A friend asked us to come get it. I mean, because if we don't come back with this, they're going to send other teams down here, right? And
Yes.
it'll be a
Other
lot more disruptive.
other team? Team?
We were talking by text messages
Oh, okay.
at that point. Yeah, we were asked to come down and retrieve it. We don't know exactly why, but if we don't, other people will. Maybe bad people. We don't know.
Ooh. Other people, other people, bad. Bad. What does what is bad?
Not nice, mean.
Angry.
Why?
Because someone wants it?
Because people's got to eat, and that's when shit gets greasy.
It's big fish. Big fish coming.
Yes.
She turns and rattles some stuff off. The people around, they kind of like get a little bit, you see a little bit of alarm spreading through the people around.
We don't want other people coming here. Do you seem to be happy as you are? We just want the thing and we're gonna leave and leave you alone.
See, we're not trying to chase any waterfalls. We're just going to stick to the lake that we're used to.
I'm not
Everybody
sure.
looks at you blankly.
Especially Nico.
Otoku looks and says, when come?
We don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Soon.
She turns. They speak.
If we get this, and he points at the device. Nobody comes. Unless you want to.
So Dr. Udashima, he says something, and then you hear in the words, Shadowrun. And she turns and she says, he asking, you are, and she looks back and he goes, Shadowrun. And then she turns and looks at you all.
Yes. Shadow on the room.
But we don't want trouble and we're not dangerous or angry.
She turns and speaks again. She turns back to you. He say that if he give to you it, then you leave, but if mean others coming already, then they come anyway.
No. mean others won't come if we bring back the thing.
She turns and speaks to him, and then he just kind of shakes his head, rattles something off. She turns back. He say, from now till land, no one know.
And we surround to the other. He's like, I didn't understand that.
Maybe because they were hidden, nobody knew where this place was. But now that someone knows, that other people will come.
Not if we tell them that we recovered that the place is
Now,
trash.
Now,
you come. Mean come. You get thing and go when you tell.
We can not tell.
he pulls up Satchel pulls up the comm link, and he's kind of like, as soon as we get it.
What
Now to land is time. That time, and they come.
you're saying that people are already coming while we're gonna leave?
She turns and asks, and he says, he shakes his head, and she turns back and don't know. But if now come,
So this place had an astral barrier on it, didn't it? Was this the one?
it did.
Or is that a different? Okay. Etienne, is there a way to disguise what this place looks like? I mean, we had the coordinates, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know how I would do that. Maybe you mean as there's no matrix signal coming out of here,
Yeah.
so it's not gonna look like anything else, like anything on the matrix. So there's not much of a way unless maybe with a giant grid projector that covers it all. But well, that would work.
Underwater Trid Phantasm.
So he starts speaking to her again, and then the really big guy interrupts sharply, along with a couple of other people, as if they're shocked and very against something that the doctor is saying. And then they start getting into a conversation that's borders on the edge of heated. They're not quite yelling at him. If you want to make an insight check, you can. But there definitely is a debate or argument going on.
By insight, I assume you mean judge intention.
Judge intentions, yes.
Yeah,
I'll take
give
that
it a
check.
shot. Nope. Etienne is flabbergasted.
Judge intention. Where's that?
It's in your stats block where your strength and all that stuff is.
Underneath your astral initiative.
Got it. I can judge these intentions fairly well, I assume.
You can. So what you're gathering is that these people care about this doctor very much. Or this, yeah. And whatever he's saying, they don't like it, not necessarily because they disagree or don't want to help you, but more because they're afraid of something. And as they continue talking, he quietly explains things. They eventually kind of slow down and stop and nod, and they all turn to look at you. And Urashima looks at Otoku.
At me specifically, or just the
all of you? Yeah, all of you. And it's expectantly, as if like waiting to hear your answer. He say, you can take, but is
Exchange?
Trade.
Trade.
Price. She looks back at him. You can tell that she doesn't really want to say this, but then she finally turns back. He say, you take him too.
Yeah, I think I understand. If he goes up there, he can convince people that there's nothing to gather down there, and they'll be left alone mostly.
He go. We go. Mean come. Empty.
Oh, and Etienne is going to pay a little bit more attention to this man, and he's going to look at the others. And does he look like physically different than them?
Now that you're thinking about it, I mean, he looks like an old Japanese man. He's kind of frail, very pale skin because, there's no sun down here.
Yeah, okay. They can probably like make their life and live under the water. He needs this place because he's just some dude. If he goes up there and then tell people like, yeah, I was strapped down there and I did my things and here's that core and stuff. Nobody's gonna come, or if they come, they're just gonna be somewhere else because they don't. Yeah, they're gonna swim away. People are gonna come, raid the place, and they come back in when they're gone.
Sounds like a decent plan to me.
That. It is, but apparently the people around here don't agree with that. They seem to don't want him to go.
Old father.
Okay. Grandfather?
Are you all his kids? You said old father.
What kids?
Children.
Children.
Children. Babies. It's kind of like.
Etienne is gonna take his deck and use the big screen to draw on it with his finger like a touchpad and make like a person and another person and then underneath like lines to brings to other person just to explain what a family tree is and point at the top and say and point at him and point at the children. Basically, he's
At this
making-
point, the doctor comes up and he's looking
Like-
at your device, and he asks to handle it.
Um. Okay.
He tries to wipe what you wrote, and assuming you're using some sort of drawing program, it just does.
Yeah.
And he makes a little square, and then he makes a couple of like 5 people, and then he puts a plus at the end of them, and then he puts a rectangle, and then inside a smaller rectangle, and inside of that smaller rectangle, a person. And then he, let's see here. So it's that, and then he draws some people.
Are we supposed to see what you're drawing?
You should be. Do you not see what I'm drawing?
Yeah. Just turn your token to turn to be able to see it.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, because I'm drawing it in because they're really being drawn.
Yeah.
It's augmented reality. You got to look in the right direction. So he's drawing the people, and he's got the plus, and then he draws a rectangle, and then he draws a person inside, and then he looks at you, and then he points at the big square. Back to this. He points at this big square, and he says, well, he doesn't say anything. He does.
This is here, and he points it back at the square. This is this place.
And then he points at the first person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is you.
And then he points at the other people, and and then he grabs his coat, which is like a lab coat. It's old and dingy, but he kind of grabs it and he kind of.
Other doctors.
Right,
Yeah.
and then he shows the plus, right, and then he points to the square, and the rectangle down here, and he points at one particular person.
Look at that person.
Yeah. Do we know who that person is?
It just looks like a person, but then he nods to him, and then the person changes. Not a person, but rather as he steps up.
Oh my god, the swamp monster.
Oh,
One person, I'm sorry.
Everybody make a composure roll.
We were having such a nice chat with charades and Pictionary.
And then the creature from the Black Lagoon showed up.
You know, Etienne is working very hard for this to go all smoothly, and he wants to solve the problem. So I'm going to use that edge that DJ Tyrol gave me to pre-edge my composure roll.
Okay.
So I don't start screaming and freaking out when I see that person. Damn!
Oh my god.
Thank you, Mo.
A lot. And then
Jen's like nods, understanding.
okay, so everybody is mostly like okay.
What are these stick
Gertrude's
figures?
jaw just kind of what?
What are these stick figures?
That's what we've been talking about the whole time. This is
Yeah,
the
we
drawing
were
that
drawing.
the scientist is making on Etienne's pad
Oh, okay. So
and
they're
trying to
okay.
explain what's going on. So,
Okay.
so Gertrude's response is very much a point and stare response. It's not necessarily a negative response, but it is very pointedly like, that was weird. I don't get it. And I'm going to be a little awkward about it for a moment until I catch myself, sort of thing. Noticeable to the others. And so you see that change. And so then the doctor again points at this.
Oh, okay. Not sure I get that part. You grew them like plants, if you will.
She looks to him and translates that as best she can. And then she says, test
Yeah,
test
the subject.
test Ryujin. Test Ryujin. And then the doc draws another one to show that there were perhaps two of these at least two of these subjects, maybe. And then he writes, and I may get this year wrong, but I'm just gonna kind of put it in there. It's 2052, I think, right? He points at 2052, and then he goes like that, and then he X's out all of that.
Okay. When the incident happened, every other scientist but him died. They had
And
two
then
test subjects and they procreated.
what? And then and now he draws your little family thing, and then he just kind of
Okay.
and then he wipes it clean.
Jen nods understandingly. Like, okay, so I think what happened was that before whatever happened destroyed this place, they were making these kind of hybrid creatures, people, and they managed to make two before whatever happened, which is probably whatever happened in Chicago. And then he was the only one alive, and they procreated. Simple as that. He doesn't want them to be bothered by regular society, so he's offering that we bring him back up, and he's probably gonna try and convince people that there's not much to get down there, but they don't want them go because he's their granddad and they love him.
Love him, but he go. Yes?
If you want him go, then yes. If he won't go, yes.
Don't want him go, but he want go is best.
Okay. Well, that yes, we can have him go. Nico,
Yes.
can you and your spirit go back to the sub so he needs diving equipment if he's gonna join us back in the sub.
Who needs diving equipment?
Urashima.
Old man. And he's probably gonna need help from your spirit to do. Like, look at him; he can barely walk.
I don't
Not
understand
like
though.
he's gonna be able. Well, we might need the help of your spirit to bring him to the other side where we were
You gonna
earlier, so we can get in the sub.
That he might need help swimming. And your
help
spirit be able to
swimming.
help.
Okay, I was just like, can we just carry him? Okay. I mean, I don't know if my spirit can carry both of us at once, but I'll ask, I guess, child.
Can
Is
it do
there a-
like back and forth?
Is there a moon pool in this building?
Not that you can see unless it's ahead of you.
Or we can ask. Etienne is going to use this thing to draw again and try to communicate. Is there something like on the other side? And draw a little building with a little submarine and an arrow that goes whoop.
Otoko looks at you. No,
Well,
only, and she points towards the elevator shaft. Only in, only out.
Okay. So the other side is the only out. So we're gonna have to bring him there. Do
Sounds simple.
but yeah, and if not the spirit, I guess they can. He gestures to the other.
We can. So you take him.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. She turns and she speaks back to him, and then he says something to her, and she nods, and then he looks at you, and he kind of beckons you to towards him, and he moves and has two of these guys push the door open. One of them you. So the big guy that was mean mugging you the whole time, he lets his guard down, and that dude's got 4 arms. As he changes back into his.
He's got 4 arms or 4 arms?
4 arms. Not. He's also got 4 arms. He's got 4 forearms.
Gosh.
Oh damn.
16 arms, Joe.
Right. Arm overkill.
All right. And he steps into this room.
Actually, don't know how to do it.
Whoever's following can follow.
Etienne is gonna follow and look around the room.
And he reaches into this machine and pulls out, opens up a compartment that you probably could have found if you would ransack the place, but it would have taken some time. And he pulls it out, and he pulls out the data core. And then he hands it to you.
Etienne nods respectfully and he picks it up and puts it in his waterproof bag.
All right. As he puts it in the waterproof bag, your comlink goes off. And it's like, hurry.
Etienne looks to the other and he's like, guys, I think we need to move this up. Our submarine driver seems to be in kind of a rush.
In fast.
All right, let's get back to the sub then.
Yeah.
Etienne is going to try to send him a text message. It seemed that it's working. It seemed to be working a little bit better, and he's like, "We got what we need, but we have an extra passenger. Meet you at the moon pool." Yeah.
Okay. And so with that, you all head towards the moon pool by going down into the elevator. With the aid of your spirit and the swimming of all the fish people who are helping, you are able to get to the other side fairly quickly. And approaching the moon pool, Goober's already got like the top open. He's like, come on, we gotta go.
What's the rush? What's going on?
Got about a quarter mile out. We got another sub coming in fast. It's a little maneuvery guy. So if we can get out of here, we can get out of here in one piece. But if they catch up to us and whoever they sent.
Okay. Let's get everybody in, and Etienne is going to turn to our translator friend.
Otoko goes, mean one, come now.
Yes, you swim away. You swim away. Hide.
She turns and she says something. The biggest guy says something back, and then Dr. Urashima, as he's getting into the sub, looks at him and very sharply says, like, da da da, whatever. And he looks mad for a second, but then the other kind of leader one says something, and you think you hear some of the same words, and then the big guy kind of nods, and they turn away and start heading back towards the elevator, the broken elevator shaft.
Etienne is going to end one of his pack of tool to their, I keep forgetting the name, but their translator.
Otoko.
And he's like, and he points at the different thing. He points at his comlink and stuff. He gives them the pack of tools.
Thinking you. And then she gives you a hug. She just wraps her arms around your waist. It's a touching moment. Fish girl has a friend now. A friend who can tinker toys with her. Come on, guys, we gotta go. Ain't no time.
Let's go.
And so with that, everybody gets into the sub.
Satchel is sure to try to tell Hiroshima not to hit the drain plug.
He looks at you blankly. It occurs to you maybe you should probably just show him the drain plug, and so he knows what not to kick.
And he does so.
And so you go to the back to find the drain plug, and you're sure it should be easy to find because it's like supposed to be big and in the way and easy to kick over or something, but you're not actually seeing it.
Satchel calls up to Goober. It's like, where's this drain plug again?
You can't see it?
No, I'm just trying to make sure that Urashima doesn't drown us in the lake.
I mean, it should be right there. If you ain't see it, that ain't good, but we gotta go.
Oh.
And then the sun starts going down.
All right. Just trust me, Urashima. It's somewhere around that, okay?
He's just it's down. And the sub submerges. As you're leaving, you can kind of make out, just because you know what you're looking for, you look out the side port and you can see several people swimming away from the ecology. You can see the lights of another sub heading down. As it does so, you notice 4 shapes detach and move towards the aquology as the sub then turns around to follow you. Looks like we got ourselves a town.
Yeah.
Normally,
So
I
how
throw
fast does this
down
go?
we're going it, but normally I throw down some oil or spike strip or something. But rules are kind of different here in the lake. So we're just gonna keep going.
All right, let's do that.
And so you do, heading up towards the surface with this sleek black submarine in tow, just behind you.
Fancy submarines and people that know how to swim.
I call dibs on this submarine. I think, just saying, if we happen to come across this submarine in the future and it has nobody in it, let's have it be mine. I want to take it.
Okay.
You said there's another one following us, right? I just want to steal it.
There is another one following you. There's totally a yes.
Okay.
And I hear what you're saying. You're saying that once you have handled whatever needs to be handled in this particular deal, you're the one who gets to keep that submarine. I get it. I get it.
Submarines are a big responsibility, so
Yeah, you gotta be willing to take it out when
mhm.
it needs, and you've got so yeah. All right.
Well, Cooper will help me figure that out, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Good talk, my friend. Good talk.
Indeed. All right. So I'm trying to. Where did it go? This little beach house. It's like right here. There it is. Right.
You're not wrong, but that still hurt.
Okie doke. So eventually, and with a shudder, the mini sub breaks the surface just offshore. You realize, looking down, Satchel, that the floor is about half an inch of water. Mostly everyone's paying attention to trying like the chase and everything, and so it looks
Someone hit the drain. Who hit the plug?
like someone hit the drain. That said, hopefully it won't fill up faster than you can get to the dock and hop on out. And your hopes are realized. Goober parks the sub in his boat dock, and as you climb out, you can see the other submarine has surfaced but is not approaching. It is just kind of sitting there offshore.
This is gonna make sure that everyone's device is very well protected underneath this deck that's running silent. And he's gonna tell everyone, cover your face and everything. We need to get the dreck out of here.
As you step off onto the dock, you see 2 very large trolls wearing crisp, tailored suits, standing on either side of the blonde bombshell known as Sarah Silverleaf. As you are disembarking, she's kind of smiles and waits for you to approach.
Seeing Sarah, Satchel just gets a huge smile on his face and just kind of like waves.
She does not wave back.
It's gonna size deeply.
But she does kind of
Didn't
like
have
give you an
time.
incline of her head.
I have time to
Hey,
copy files.
can I see the data core?
Why do you want to see the data core?
Isn't that what we're giving her?
You just want to be the.
Yes,
It
you get
is.
you get my plan. Can help me out? Do me solid.
He gives him the fucking data core.
It's so
All right.
like that.
Yeah, well,
Satchel
of
kind of
course.
like holds up the data core. It's kind of like, and then he waves.
Yeah, Satchel, you go ahead and talk her here out and give her that. Let's bring our new friend into our buddy's shop so he doesn't stand out so much.
All right. So you're approaching with the data core.
Yes.
So that's it. The data core.
He kind of like looks out at it. Yeah. This is what you wanted, right?
She looks at the bodyguard on her right, nods. He steps forward, puts out his
Oh.
big, meaty troll hand for you to set the data core upon it.
And he just kind of like slowly and kind of like dejectedly puts the core in his hand.
All right. He turns and he hands it to Sarah. And she takes it and plugs a cord into it and kind of like leans back, closes her eyes. You see her eyes, underneath her eyelids kind of scanning back and forth. She unplugs it, hands it back to the bodyguard, who turns and puts it into the vehicle in a case. Who's the old man?
I'm not exactly sure. Like, there's some kind of language barrier that we can't quite get over.
With that, she starts walking over to the bait and tackle shop, along with one bodyguard, as the other stays by the car.
Oh yeah. So how have you been today? Satchel says as he kind of like follows her like a lost puppy. Like, hey, like, what's going on? What's moving? What's shaking?
Tim tries to usher the others, and he's like, she gets her hands on it. This guy is not going to see this light of the sun for what's left of his life.
Business, always business. As they arrive at the bait and tackle shop. So are you going to try to hide him? I mean,
well, I guess she saw him already, so hiding him is probably not going to work. So I guess we usher him in, and Etienne is going to tap Gertrude on the shoulder, and he's going to just gesture for her to stay with him on the outside of the bait and tackle shop. Just go, hey, Sarah. So you got what you came for. Satchel handed you your data core.
Well, technically, I handed it to the bodyguard, but yeah.
yes, I noticed that you arrived with a, shall we say, guest.
Don't worry too much about it. Our business is done, right? So we can exchange credit stick.
Oh, certainly. Our business is done as agreed, and yes, do pay them. And the troll hands over a cred stick with your agreed upon payment. That said, I would like to take a moment to speak with your guest, if unless you're holding him prisoner or something.
Is status regarding us, except the other for confirmation, is not very important right now, but I believe our business today is done. We have done what you asked us for, and
So,
hey Tom, I'll take
so I understand. I understand. That said, our business is indeed complete. Then I agree. However, you are standing in the way of my entering the bait and tackle shop, and I did have some business with Goober.
Oh, okay. Hey Goober, come out here for a second.
Yeah, all right. As he steps out, she smiles at Etienne and says,
Apparently, someone has business with you. We'll go back in, change our suit, leave what we rented for you, and we're gonna make our way.
as he comes out, he's like, oh, okay. And as you are out of her way, she's just going to smoothly, yeah, I was just wondering if you had anything new and interesting come in, and as far as drones go, as she just follows you into the store, unless someone's trying to bar the door or keep her from coming in physically.
Gertrude's gonna move very awkwardly, like, oh no, I don't realize how large I am. I'm sorry, I'm in the way, just to make it awkward.
And once inside, Etienne is gonna try to gesture our guests towards if there's a back door that way. If not, maybe like back store or something's getting him out of the way so she doesn't get access to that poor old man who just wanted to do the right thing.
As the doors open and Gertrude is playing the role of clumsy oaf, I guess. Is her. Right. She actually speaks up quite loudly in what you presume to be Japanese, now that you've been listening to it the whole time. It's an interrogative of some sort, a question.
Oh, you speak Japanese?
I work for Renraku Corporation. And then you hear the old man respond back in Japanese. It appears that your friend would like to take a moment and speak with me. Perhaps something about familiarity and having someone that speaks his language is comforting.
Etienne is going to look at him in the eyes with interrogation in his face.
So untrusting, these, she says to her bodyguard.
That's
I am
why
not
you hire
going
us.
to What do you think I'm going to do here? Do you think I'm going to?
You want a list?
Do
Do
you
you
think
want
I'm
a
going
list?
to kidnap the man? Do you think I'm going to have him
I
killed?
believe in the business you call that extraction.
Yes, and I would hire a team for it.
That's fair, but that's what we were hired for.
No, our business
know-
is complete. As such, this is just personal, day-to-day, conversing with somebody who seems fairly interesting.
And
Tim
Satchel's
frowns.
now kind of salty because
She wants to
What
talk
makes
to the
him
old
so-
Japanese guy,
Yeah.
but you don't want to talk to him.
like, what makes him so interesting? Like, he kind of grumbles to himself. He's kind of just kind of like leaves the scene.
Etienne is going to look at the old man and try and gauge if he indeed wants to talk to her.
I mean, if you don't know who Sarah Silverleaf is, who doesn't want to talk to her, first of all? And even if you do know who Sarah Silverleaf is, most people still want to talk to her.
He's going to take one of the shitty comlinks he has in his pocket and raise it, and on the screen there's like the triangle with an exclamation point that means danger.
You don't have to draw anymore. You have wireless connectivity.
Oh, yeah, but he doesn't.
You do though, so you can on your touch screen go to
Google
GURPS,
Translate equivalent.
Yeah, NURPS Translate.
GURPS Translate.
NURPS Translator, not GURPS. That's something totally different. NURPS Translator, English to Japanese.
Yeah. And he searched for the word dangerous, and he says that. Or as the phones say it. Because the text to speech is probably better than what he tries to pronounce.
Looking at your device, he taps on the Japanese side. Letters come up, and also a question mark, and the word is corporate.
Yes, the worst kind.
And then, he types into it. Where is the guy? Here it is. Okay, yeah. He puts in Yamatetsu is what it pops up as, and then question mark.
No, she's not for Yamatetsu. No, Yamatetsu changed for.
Is Evo now?
Evo.
He said
And the change happened while he was down there.
Yeah. So he says no.
And then he puts another question mark.
Yamatetsu equal Evo now. She is, what did she just say she was?
Renraku.
Thomas Memories is not Renraku.
He says something to her in Japanese. You hear Renraku in it. And she responds with a smile, very lightly, and answers in the affirmative to his question. And he looks at you, and he looks at the thing and says, and he just types okay in English.
So with that, Satchel's gonna go change into his suit to be more impressive.
Where are you changing into your suit at?
In the van.
Okay, good.
That was the important
For other reasons.
question.
For other reasons.
Is he in size a little bit? Yeah, of course. It's in size a little bit, and he's like, "Will you be okay?" Question mark.
They rattle off some words together back and forth, and then she looks and says, "It appears that Dr. Urashima, a brilliant geneticist, by the way, one of the staff in the archaeology of Yamatetsu down there, is eager to continue some of his work. In particular, work that has to," and then she questions and he says something back, "to deal with, well, apparently plant life for oxygenation and feeding. Rinraku can find a use for that. And I have assured him that we can provide him the facilities that he needs. We have the data core as well, so we have his research, so he'll be able to fall back on that and continue whatever he wants to do. It is his life's work. I don't know if you expect him to perhaps escape from corporate life and live in the slums of Chicago. Undoubtedly, he is going to return.
You right there. I don't expect him to do anything. I just want to make sure he does what he wants to do.
Certainly.
And not what you want to do him to do.
Well, perhaps they align. And
Perhaps.
I am pleased and willing to, well, pay a bit of a finder's fee, headhunter's fee, if you will, to you. My gratitude. Nothing more. Not a bribe, not a promise of silence, just gratitude. However, Dr. Urashima does appear to wish to come with us. And if it will make you feel better, he will walk on his own to the car. As she says that, Satchel, you step out of the vehicle, looking good. You look over at the troll that's by the car, also in his suit, and you nod. He doesn't nod back, but you nod, because he knows and you know. The suit makes the man. Suit makes the troll. He knows. He knows. He's just being professional. All of a sudden, you hear this, and the troll kind of does this, and he looks down, and you see this red just blossoming down on the white shirt of his beautiful suit. And he looks at you and falls over. And we're going to stop right there because it's 10 o'clock. There's nothing else we can do tonight. So
I love it.
And yeah, that happened. So everybody, hope everyone enjoyed that. There wasn't any big fighting or anything. Just a lot of talking and seeing things. But you know, sometimes that's how it goes. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody in the cast enjoyed that.
I did.
I look forward to not dressing like post-apocalyptic water fish people that have discovered
That's
human
what
stuff.
this was? Oh, I was worried.
They're just wearing, they just got whatever. They find it and they just put it on and they don't know what it's supposed to be. They don't know.
I mean, it was fine until we started talking to Sarah Silverman and he was still wearing that. That was a little bit distracting. No,
because this is a much better Sarah Silverleaf, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so so yeah, that was a good time. Thank you everybody who joined us tonight to watch. looks like we have one more session before we are done with this particular mission, which we will have next week. I look forward to having that. Thank you to the cast for joining us as always, and thank you to Tom for running the tech, making sure that the map is up and everybody can see what is going on. These 2 particular maps for the ecology will be available on our Patreon once I get the map pack on there, so that anyone who is one of our patrons can get those maps for themselves with no grid, so you can grid it however you want. And yeah, just one of the many things that that our patrons will be getting. Tomorrow is an off day for stream. Thursday we have Stormlord's Wrath, which is a D&D Episodicals 3. Friday we've got Rem Chat, so just come hang out. Some of us will be on there to talk and answer your questions and just hang out with you guys and shoot the breeze. Really pay attention to the chat and you know, answer your questions and stuff. Saturday we have D&D Episodicals 4, which is Descended into Avernus. Sunday, Like Clockwork, which is which I'm running, and then Monday we'll have that thing that the tech guy does. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna have Dresden on Monday, which is a really fun time. Actually, the chat in there is pretty nutso while they're going on. So.
And I'm not sure. I don't want to have any spoiler, but I may be there on Dresden.
Oh, nice, nice. Good. Just R.I.P. Detective Hannah, though. We barely knew you, but
we did. Barely knew him.
Yeah. So hey, love you all. Stay safe. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, everybody.